Alright, just getting started here. I'm doing a crochet for men. I have all my supplies, so I'm going to pull them out and show them right here. Just bear with me. Alright, so I got all my crochet equipment here. I got a deal on this, the purple yarn, and I ran out of my black. I'll show what I made with it though. I got my gray, go back now, and I'll show that. I'll have my products, and I'm gonna pull them out and separate them as best I can, and then show how they're set up. So I'm gonna pull them out, they're being all pulled out here. This gear, this is my winter gear right now. It took I don't know, a few days, over a matter of a couple of weeks, few hours a day. This is the stuff. I'm gonna arrange it so you can see, kind of have an idea of what it's all about here. Okay, but yeah, this stuff is good to about 40 degrees, I think. Put this on first, that's second. Okay, these down below, and these are it. This is what all I've made so far. This has got the thumb. Am I doing good? Good. Just busy sewing. Or not, well, you can kind of call it sewing. All right, we'll go back. Okay, oh, I got to watch the cord. All right, so what I have here is my hat, which this is the first thing I made, so it doesn't look great. It's just a knotty, there's some bumps. I got, yep, you're gonna be late for work. You have a job? This is the neck warmer, okay? This is the bigger neck warmer. I just made this last night. So I put this on first, put this on after. These are my wrist warmers, and then these are my ankle warmers. Everything fits pretty good. And these are enough for down to 40 degrees. This is what I have made. So I need to keep moving. I need to keep sewing and get bigger and thicker. These are a start. I can wear those in 40 degrees without a jacket and feel great. But I want to work on bigger. So I got my next project here is, well, what I'm currently working on. I'll show kind of my method. Oh, and also my needles too here. We got some hooks. I brought 2 hooks along. The gold and the blue. So what do we got here? The size is 10 or 15. That's the biggest you can get at Walmart. Everything has been gotten at Walmart, all this, even the bag. Everything I need is usually found at Walmart. And then the problem with focusing. Let's see, I'm gonna try to pinch. Oh wait, I don't need to. All right, and this is a smaller one. There's a difference between the sizes of this purple and this gray. The gray is a slight bit thicker. I don't know if that really shows. Maybe not. Okay. Well, I've been having okay no problems with using the smaller hook on the purple. I don't know. You can get it. It depends on how big you want your whatever holes to be, something like that. And I do standard hooking. There's these, you watch all these females on the channels teaching you beginner crocheting, and they're doing all these fancy works. But I don't, because look at the difference here. This is fresh. I just put the bumps are. Look at this. I've worn this a few days. Smelling like Wile E. Coyote. Yeah, I haven't showered in a long time. Look at how fuzzy this is. I've been wearing this a few days now compared to this. So you make all those fancy knots, which this is pretty much what all this is. What I've summed it up as just a series of slip knots. All you're doing is putting a bunch of slip knots together, and then you got a product. You got something. It's kind of neat. But this is freshly sewed. Never worn this. Just tried it for fit. This is for my ankle. I want to make it bigger. I want a bigger one for my ankle. I got this smaller one that's a little fuzzy for warmer, slightly warmer, down to 40, and then past 40. I definitely want something bigger. I'll wear it with this on the same ankle. So I also want to double up on the wrists and the hat, and I did double up on the neck, but I might want to try to on that. We'll see. I've bought three of these things. I'm out of one, and I spent they're almost $30. $6 a pop for the jumbo size, so $6.50 a pop. So making those fancy sewing loops, making the fancy slip knots is it gets disguised once you start wearing the product, because it'll get fuzzy and won't look as good. I'm surprised how the design looks so different. Okay, I don't know what I was doing with this other one. What's this? Oh, it's a knot. Okay, it is a slight different. I kind of like this. It's fine. It works. So I've been doing this basic technique, and I could show how I started it out too. On the purple, I didn't do anything. I can't really start over on the gray because it's all attached. It's just one. This cuff is just one big long string that just continues and continues until I decide to cut it with. I don't even have scissors. I should have a knife here somewhere. But this thing is just one long string, and you could just unravel it if you wanted. Let's see here. Just a simple. It's not too hard to put oh, I see what I did. It's not too hard to put things together. Let's see here. So to try to prevent it from unraveling, I make a big loop. When I take a break, I'll just make a huge loop, and then I can pull that, and then I can just sit there and unravel it if I wanted to. It's kind of neat. If I'm not happy, I've done that a few times too. I've unraveled when I wasn't happy with a particular deal, but I'm getting a little bit better now, so I don't make the mistakes that I have been in the early phases, just last week. Okay, you could use either the gold, the bigger one, or the blue, but I go with the smaller one. And then let's see, where did I unravel too much at? Okay, so I fit it in there, and then I'll pull it out there. I'm doing every other link because I'm trying to take the most advantage of warmth as I can, but it does have good breathability. All these holes. There is definitely a noticeable difference in warmth. So I don't know if I can't really watch the camera. I'm slower than the ladies, you see. I like to make sure this knot is a little extra tight, and then go through. I take the time to try to make the knot extra tight, and that's just my habits. I don't see ladies doing that on their channels so much. They just kind of follow through. They flip through really fast, and that's it. So this is I showed off my winter gear. I wonder, they'll come into focus. That's pretty neat how that changes so quickly. This is a Samsung 9 with the Bixby. Okay, so every other link, I'll just continue on, and it's been really, really nice to make specialized gear that fits. All right, I'd like to make socks, and making these ankle warmers are kind of a beginning for socks. This is just a little flap thing that I messed around with, that I could say messed up. But how do I? There's no Michaels or Joanne in Steamboat Springs. Yeah, I have seen that. Walmart has some good stuff. I've got everything at Walmart. There's good choices. Oh, okay. So I kind of messed this up. You can see I didn't get the whole yarn, so it's bunched up there. Just have to pull it and start over. One of the nice, oh man, I was gonna bring my Speedy Stitcher. I was gonna show some stuff with that because that's part of the reason why I have chosen crochet over knitting is because I use the crochet needle for my Speedy Stitcher, and that's just kind of now a habit. I've just looped things with the crochet hook, even while sewing, or while now with this. This is a new thing for me, doing the crochet. I was considering sewing more fleece together and for winter gear, but I wanted to dabble with this. I was really curious about it, so now I know how to crochet, and I'm actually happier with crochet than sewing pieces of fleece together, because this looks a little bit better. And it's a little bit easier to modify. I kind of had some trouble with sewing fleece because the fleece was, you got to cut it perfectly, you got to sew it just right, or you're going to have this jumbled mess. At least with this, it's a jumbled mess, but you can manipulate it for a little bit easier with all these holes. I could put extensions on. I plan on putting purple on to the end of this ankle warmer once I get it long enough, so I can decipher the difference between this other ankle warmer. So if it's like a low light situation, I'll be able to tell, okay, this is the heavier or the more colder weather one. This is light cold down to 40, and then below that I gotta add more. And that's without wearing any kind of jacket actually. And it's getting cold here, so I'm learning how to do this crochet stuff out of dire necessity. It's acrylic yarn. Yeah, it's some kind of it's a mix. It's definitely not completely wool. I don't even know if a string of wool is in this, honestly. I don't believe so. Actually, there is some wool in this hat. Okay, I'll be honest, I did pay a little bit extra for this. This hat, I bought a smaller ball of yarn. It was my first crochet deal, and it's not enough. It doesn't even cover my ears, but it's fine for this weather right now. But there's a little bit of wool in there. Walmart doesn't sell anything 100% wool. Not sure what those prices are like. It has no wool in it, so you're getting $6 for, I don't know, enough for maybe 4 hats. The wool, that might be jacked up in price, but it might be a double in price. So pretty much it's all about maintaining with the crocheting. It's about maintaining, I don't want to say rhythm. Oh, see, I just double knotted that. That was an accident. I don't want that to stay either, so I want to undo that. See, I'll lose like focus sometimes. See, that's the knot. I already put it there. You got to pay attention sometimes, or you'll double knot, or you'll skip the knot. And it's all about patterns. It's about It's about a management of some kind. You have to pay attention. Make sure you don't put too many knots. Make sure you don't skip. They call it a chain link. And actually, okay, I'll count that. I'll talk about chain links here. So I counted 35 chain links for my ankle warmer here. But this is for the outer one. I counted this. I didn't even see some ladies. They become so experienced in this. They start talking about links and marking links on top of doing. Is it? Yeah. You have a huge box of cotton. Do you know how to crochet or knit? But I counted 30 links on this ankle warmer, and that fits my big foot pretty good. And then I wanted bigger, so I counted 35 links on this, so it'll fit over, and it's going to be longer. If I want to fit it over. In fact, I want it to be I want it to be like foldable and not mess and not be too tight. I want to make this at least double the length. Yeah. Yeah, this is a good time of year to get into it, I'll tell you that. Especially when you're sleeping in your car. So I knotted that. I want to make this at least double, and it's a matter of trying on the product. And what the heck, I'll show you. I'll try it on. So I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna just kind of give a big loop there so it holds. All right. Now this should be an easy demonstration, I think. So say I want to try it on. Can I get this down more? All right. So it's just a matter of giving her the old fit. And this has pretty good room for 35 links. And yeah, I want to make it go. I want to make it go like what you see with ballet dancers or whatever. They have it almost up to the knee. So I got quite a distance to go. But this smaller one, I mean, this is just a tiny one. It's just good for around the ankle. Good warmth right there. You really notice. I really notice the difference. Pretty nice. 10 here, 4 chatting, 5. You're saying, yeah. I don't doubt that they're watching. Did you see my Instagram? I posted a picture of the employment for Hayden Police. They have an employment ad up that I took a picture of and put on my Instagram. They put it in the Steamboat pilots. They're looking for another officer, and I said I hope they're replacing Gregor Clegane. We'll just use the Game of Thrones reference. Call him Clegane. Yeah, that'd be pretty entertaining if they were. They said that they're going to focus on watching things that are relevant to the case. Am I going to apply to be a cop? I don't really want to stick around. If there was someone to be like a national cop, where I could just travel wherever and find interesting things, I'd do that. Find interesting criminal events. Fly my drone over and surveil different interesting places. I haven't been able to fly that drone in weeks and weeks and weeks. It just sits in the car and just dead weight now. It's kind of saddening. I don't like flying over the same thing more than once. Okay, so I'll keep this. I wonder if maybe I can turn this down. Whoops. Let's see. I want to. Okay, I know what I need. I don't know if this makes a lot of noise. Turn it so oh no, okay. Turn it so it goes down. And then play with this for a little bit. Yep, gonna be ready for winter. I won't be ready for 0 degrees. All right, 0 degrees is gonna be really rough still. I need to make a lot more stuff than what I got. I don't think you can, whoa, that's about to fall. I don't think you can make enough crochet things to keep warm at 0 degrees. I would need to sew some fleece. I was thinking a fleece chest in some way. Okay, a nice fleece chest. I don't think I want to bother crocheting that. Something big. Yeah, my crochet for my house. I have a nice barrier up, but yeah, I'm not gonna waste any effort in trying to insulate my car. I'm gonna focus on myself. All right, yeah. See, okay, I got this neck warmer. You put this neck warmer, and it also could be kind of a headband too. It fits pretty good. If I wanted to do that, keep the hair out of my face at least. But this is for the neck, and then then I just made this. I was thinking this started out, I was planning on making a hood, but now it's just gonna sit. You made a pug sweater? Yeah, those designs, like, I don't know how they make all those nice designs on the thing. No, it's getting kind of warm, but you could kind of see I got 1 layer, 2 layer, and then I intend to make a 3rd layer, but I don't think I want to crochet it. I want something over the chest, like a poncho. I want a little poncho that, and I've had it before. Little poncho that goes down to the, I don't know, the bottom part of the chest, and then over the back, of course. I want equal weight on both sides. I had that, and it was pretty decent. Yeah, just working on the ankle warmer now. And I got, it's kind of a dick. Oh, that's called a dickie? Oh, I should write that down. A dickie. I'll look that up. Okay. What's this paperwork? Color. Yeah, I need a new driver's license. Yeah, dickie. That's a good one. I didn't. Yeah, that sounds right. I just stuff I don't think about. I'll look at some ideas. I had one when I was back in Wisconsin, back freezing in Rice Lake, Wisconsin in the winter time. They get a lot colder in Rice Lake. Let's see. Okay, I want that. I mean, I was told that the permafrost is 8 feet below in Rice Lake, Wisconsin, and it gets down to 5 feet here in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. So there's a difference in cold. 5 feet is still cold enough. Okay, I got to put a knot. Oh, I already did a knot, didn't I? That looks like a double knot. So I'm not really paying attention while doing the video. That's the thing what the women can do on crochet. They can instruct and do everything with their hands at the same time. Effortlessly. I'm struggling here if I'm gonna try to talk and crochet at the same time. Pugface has videos? I haven't checked in a while. I'll have to take a look. I check every so often. Okay, so that's that knot. See, this is the basic slip knot after slip knot. Nothing fancy, but it puts together some good insulation. You just continue. And I haven't seen a male's version of crocheting. I'm sure they're out there. It's just the females are dominating that category for instructions. All right, I got a knot to do to tighten it. It's still, yeah, you can still unravel, but yeah, I don't want to make it too tight. All right, and then just continue on. This is just a straight up knot after knot, and so I'm really not doing a good job paying attention here. All right, this is the first knot, and then that's the second knot. All right, I wonder if I can, maybe try to angle. So yeah, if any Root County police are watching, welcome. These are little nice items to have for anybody. Ankle warmers, wrist warmers, neck warmer, and then the hat. Your basic accessories. I'd like to try to make some mittens, but I was thinking about maybe just buying oven gloves and saving on the effort. But we'll see. The next few nights are supposed to be kind of chilly, so it's got me nervous. Got me working a little more feverishly to stay ahead of it. But this is just for being able to avoid wearing my winter jacket. Because if I have to rely on that winter jacket, my armpits tend to sweat more. just collecting heat in the body. And it's much more desirable for me to work on first keeping my wrists and ankles warm and neck warm, and then my armpits can't sweat so much. That's why I made the torso toaster 6 years ago, to avoid any insulation around the armpit area. Focus on warming up other places. Yeah, but I want to make it in pieces, so it has to be layers and pieces, because weather around here especially, it dips and climbs, and you want to be prepared for that. Yeah, I might have the fingers for this type of thing. You got to have kind of like long, elongated fingers. There's guys out there with big stubby fingers who may not have as easy a time. That's why this might be a women more centric. It doesn't take a lot of physical effort, and if you got smaller fingers, then it helps. Like piano playing fingers, I think. That you need that dexterity on top of that. But anybody could do it. I mean, it's just a matter of adjusting. Could a monkey learn how to do this? It's possible. They could learn how to do some sweet sequences, but to adjust for any problems, they might give up. But there's really not a lot of problems with this type of activity. You'd buy one? Yeah? All right, maybe I should sell. I paid what, $6 for a big ball of yarn. I could probably make like 30 small ankle warmers. Maybe I could sell ankle warmers. They're pretty easy to make, but I'd have to you'd have to consider the sizes too. I think there's different sizes in ankles. Small, medium, large, I guess. I would just want to make them for my own size, and then if anybody's my size, they're welcome to have a spare. Maybe I can make a couple. There's some homeless people in Steamboat Springs. I've seen the sleeping bags at night, early in the morning. I don't disturb them, but I have taken their picture, and I have taken a lot less video in Steamboat. It's, I hate recording the same thing twice. So I've gone some full days without recording anything. Hats are the most popular. That takes some skill, and I have more to learn on that, because the way ladies have been doing it on the YouTube has been starting at the top and working down, and I don't know how to do that. It's like a spoke wheel top they start at, and then you work down. They do that for socks too. You start at the toes and then work up. I don't know how to do that. They do some kind of spoke wheel thing. I haven't figured out. All I know how to do is a tube and just make the ends and continue down until I'm done. Make a tube. This is 35 links all around. Make the tube, and then just however long I want it. But to make a good rounded end, like the top for a hat, the ladies have been starting at the top and working down, and I don't know how to do that. I'd like to learn how to do that. How do you do it back and forth? Start with that pinwheel, or end with the pinwheel. That's some interesting stuff. And I mean, they make it clear as day how they make those videos. It's just like what I'm doing. Their hands are your hands practically. You just envision how you do it. But still, I need to actually watch them and practice too at the same time. Like, try to repeat everything, because I've watched them now, and I try to repeat it later. Spoke wheel crochet. Yeah. Is that what it's called though? Spoke wheel crochet. I don't know. I have definitely not spent a second watching how to knit. I might do that later out of curiosity, but just working on crochet, working on these this winter gear out of necessity. So I plan on sticking around till my criminal trial, October 25th. And so instead of traveling now, I'm focusing on staying grounded. Because I would be heading in a southerly direction as it's getting cooler like this. And now it's got to be it's turning in when I'm waiting for October 25th. It's once that date hits and whatever happens, assuming I'm free, it's just going to be a mad dash south. Not stop. I'm going to skip all kinds of cities. I'll just pass through, pass by, skip on through until I get to warmer climate. Although I gotta admit, I do, if I have my winter gear built up, I could probably slow down a little bit, take my time, get familiar with the cold cities in October. I don't really need to rush, I guess, if I'm gonna build up my winter gear. So I have stuck around some cold areas before. Just all a matter of preparing, and I've lost all my old winter gear. It takes up too much space in my car. Yeah, and knitting socks would be nice. I need to do that because these ankle warmers, they're only going to warm up my ankles. My toes will still get cold. I really need to figure out how to make an extended ankle warmer that covers the foot. But how do you get around that heel? How do you get around the toes? That's the challenge, and I need to build up my skill. I don't know how to shrink. I don't know how to round it off at the end, so I don't know how to do all that yet. I can only do one type of one style. There's loops and there's hole. You like maybe skip a link to do every other link or every third link or something to start shrinking it down. I tried that a little bit yesterday, and I tried that on this thing. I skipped a link, and all I did was well, it's not so obvious. The holes got bigger. I skip every other link in this middle part, and the holes just got bigger. It doesn't really seem like it narrowed down. It kind of narrowed down. It might have, but it also made the holes a little bit bigger in the center. What if I skipped every third link? I guess I have to experiment. I have to just make it and then see how it looks. That's what it is, and there's different ways to create patterns. I'm not too excited about patterns. Color coding, Granny's knit a pearl. Yeah, I guess you could put little pearls in your pattern. I'd like to try to double the thickness somehow. Is there a way to knit in a way to double the thickness? And yeah, I gotta keep on turning this big thing. This thing is when I run out, sometimes it gets to be a little problem, but not too bad. Knit one purl, two knitting slang. Yeah, these ladies on the crochet videos, they got a particular slang. You yarn over, and then I don't know, double crochet, yarn over, double crochet, yarn over. It's like they got their own language, and I don't. How to? You'd put in decrease for knitting or for crochet. If I typed in decrease crochet, that would show something. I don't have my other computer up. I really can't look at it. Decrease. I don't know. It's got to be cinched. How to cinch it up towards the end, or yeah, I'm sure there's particular wording that you use. So just continuing on through. Let's see, yeah, it's okay. I try to tighten it up as much as I can. I think this is, yeah, that's the next link. Sometimes it can be a little confusing. You really need experience to, so you don't skip them links. Continue on. And yeah, just link after link. So this is live crocheting, and there's all kinds of interesting stuff that ladies are making. There's no way I'm gonna make puppets or anything like that. I just want to make useful things for the winter. I have to admit, I'm kind of a pervert. I looked up crochet bikini. That was curious to me. I wanted to just see it because I think that's kind of neat how they do that. But there's all kinds of interesting designs. I like my basic ones though. The ankle, wrists, neck, and head. Anything else? Yeah, like underwear, pants, shirts. I don't think I'll delve into that. Just basic, simple stuff. I do more fleece sewing with the shirts, pants. You decrease. How to decrease and crochet. Maybe I can look that up. How to decrease. All right. Let's see. It's hard to keep this on camera. Nice and tight, but not too tight. I learned not to make the knots too tight with my hats because then it just got harder to put the hook in the holes. Just tighten it up enough. I don't want it to be, is that my next? I don't think that's my next. Keep with the same pattern, but it's really not that important that it looks bad because this is going to be on my ankles anyway. I don't need special patterns. Just has to be functional more than pretty, because the pants are going to cover it up anyway. I may need to adjust. So it'd be increase if I wanted to widen it and decrease if I wanted to narrow it. Because I'll probably need to do something. If I want to get it high enough to cover the calf a little bit, I might want to increase this. It might be wide enough though. It's got to stretch some over. That's pretty neat too. There's no elastic bands in it. What? It's a fuzz. There's no elastic bands, but it's stretchy. It's a nice stretchy, but it's a fake. It's not real wool. I'm not sure how flexible wool would be. Probably stiffer. But this is pretty flexible. And that makes for good knots too. You can get a tighter knot with a more flexible yarn. Yeah, it's not much else to it. So what else is happening in Steamboat? All I'm doing is researching. I plan on making another video on my Cop channel. I got more complaints I want to just address about being approached with somebody with a badge. Talk about what is it? Not like pretending to be a cop, being a fake cop or whatever. Talk about that and other stuff. I'm trying to write a little list of things I'll talk about on my Cop channel. I really don't have anything else to do on that. It's just a long wait now, a big stretch until October 2nd, which is a hearing, and then October 25th. I got so much time and nothing really to do. I got idle hands. Yeah, impersonating. But Irish Eyes is a new poster I'm not sure male, female, but this person has been really making some interesting suggestions. I guess I've gone a little too far calling that guy, the victim, a cop impersonator. He could have been security, but he just said that he was working there. He didn't say what security company he worked for. So he could have been using his old police badge, but the security part, he could have been like a private security for the public parking lot. No, yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think it's an impersonation to wear a badge by itself. But if you start acting like a cop, then it starts looking suspicious to me. And I want to show some videos of other cops saying the exact same thing he did. You look like you're living in your car. And then questioning, what am I doing here? You look like you're living in your car. I want to make another cop video, and it's going to be a lot of conspiracy stuff I want to question about that event, just that event. It's been running through my head for a long time now, and more questions keep popping up, unanswered, so I have to answer them myself. And I'm trying to be reasonable about my answers, and compare the situation to other situations that have occurred in other places. So it's not too far-fetched to let my imagination wander on what is occurring in Hayden, Colorado. It's not too far-fetched. There's a lot of activity. Like when I was in the jail cell, there was 3 of us in the jail cell. One of the guys was from Hayden, and I asked him what he did. He said it's a domestic dispute, but the other guy said that this guy was most likely a meth head. He didn't say the domestic disturber didn't say that, but it made sense. After I was told that he was a meth head, that did make sense in Hayden. And I'm questioning what they're hiding, what kind of conspiracies are going on. But I can't really worry about that too much if I'm going to be freezing in the cold. I won't be thinking about conspiracies so much if I'm not able to stay warm enough. Merb, 34th Street. Yeah, that name, I don't know, it seems like I heard it before, but it's not too familiar. I will say that I got another video on that San Joaquin's channel, and that got 180,000 views, while mine has 5,000. His version's got 180,000 views. Mine's got 5,000. He is a big mirror. And Merb is an actual license. He still has his license, or he's a former lawyer. The difference in views is amazing. And people are commenting on San Joaquin's video so much. And they're asking for updates. So, yeah, San Joaquin Transparency, who's selling t-shirts. How many t-shirts did my video sell in his channel? How many t-shirts were sold just through my channel? Present, current, licensed lawyer. He's got a license that you could look up in the whatever state, Colorado state? And California, oh, it's a little different. Yeah, there's similarities and differences. The Transparency channel, he just, like, San Joaquin Transparent last week. So his latest post, if you check out a discussion forum, I asked in that, because I don't know how you could contact the guy directly, I asked him if he could post in his discussion forum a little ad for me, a little ad for my video. They want to keep up on their state's legal issues. I don't know if there's do many lawyers like to cross state to state on their research. He's he would be doing professional work, advising. He'd be an advisor, and he'd have to document that, and he'd have to document if he charged money or if he did it pro bono or free. These lawyers, they need to document every minute of their time. He said he has a channel, though. I guess he wouldn't have, if he has a channel, I guess he wouldn't have to really document that. He's got to be pretty efficient with his time. You don't just get a license and then just go into casual chats and give professional lawyer advice. It's got to be like on a professional basis, contract, and time allotted. Like that's kind of like, in a way, if he's giving advice, he's practicing law. And don't they have to like log their hours like a pilot has to log their hours? So he needs to log that. Oh, I gave this guy some professional advice. Okay. All right, MERB. Okay, all right. I'll just write it down. This stuff I can look at later because I don't have access. MERB 34ST, or was it MERBs? I guess I can look back in the chat. MERB 34ST. I'd have to look at it later. I'm busy crocheting to save my life. This is out of necessity. This is where you get inspiration, is out of necessity. MERB 34ST. Yep. All right. I'll just type that. I'll just write that in. That it's a lawyer channel. I have seen some lawyer channels. They'll give general advice, mostly out of California. They're definitely open about legal advice in California. It might be more loose. I mean, especially when cops have to divulge their pay. Like that's open records. In Colorado, you can't look up anybody. You can't look up any criminal history of anybody, any famous murders. You can't casually look up their criminal record. Like in Wisconsin, you got Jeffrey Dahmer. You just type in Wisconsin CCAP, type in Jeffrey Dahmer in the search, and you see all his murders. But you can't do that with Colorado. And then they have like criminal history suppression groups. They have seminars every week on how to suppress your criminal history. And I've never seen that so much before. But maybe it's because I've been hanging around the courthouse so much and seeing a lot more legal stuff. But it seems like it's being promoted a little stronger in Colorado to suppress your criminal history. I say embrace it. If that's what you're being charged with and convicted of, just embrace it. The cop stuff never gets old. Yeah, it gets the blood going, that's for sure. I'm still so angry about Krager. And I wish, I don't have that newspaper with me. I should have brought that. They got the newspaper article or advertisement. Hayden police are looking to bring on a new cop. And I'm wishing that Krager is being replaced. But I mean, I don't know what's going on. I guess I could ask, but Chief Tulipski is kind of, I think he's not talking to me. He's giving me a very cold shoulder. I'm on Saget Press. No, I'm on Saget. I'm on Saget Press. I've heard of that channel. I'm a casual police like video viewer, kind of casual. But I mean, I know about that dude in Boston. If that's the controversy, that guy in Boston who was at the Straight Pride parade, and okay, and there's straight pride, and then the cops like boxed them all into a small area and arrested them, and now this Boston guy is held in jail without bail for a month. Partly, it sounds like Josh, yeah. partly because Josh is a runner. If you're labeled a runner, then yeah, the most important thing to judges is making sure that you show back up. They want you to show back up for your court hearing, and that's like really important to the judge. That's why he's got a lot of charges. How many are ethical? How many are actually legal charges? Because DAs are quick to throw ethical charges in with the criminal charges. They just want to throw accusation after accusation, like anything. You stepped on an ant. That's a legal issue they want to bring up with you. If there's any documented history of you doing, like giving an old lady a finger or something, they'll bring that up in court. They'll bring up everything. Some are violent. Oh, is he? Yeah, Josh, I mean, you can kind of see it, the way he protested cops. Like he hates cops, and he's just chanting it for minutes and minutes right at the cops. I would never do that. I thought that was a little overboard. I'm pretty angry at cops, though, and getting angrier with every arrest. But still, I would keep quiet about all that. That's him being young, though. He's just younger than me. He's done all kinds of stuff. Robbery, ADW, I don't know what that is, but yeah, I know. I saw that he was like a drug addict. And then tow truck girl got lobbied for $800 from the viewers to get him out of bail, and then she kept it or something like that. That was like the last thing I heard about their issue. She like stole the money, and then it wasn't. He's almost 40. Oh, well, he's up there. He looks younger than that. All right, what time is it? I can't be doing this too long. There's a meeting at 2 o'clock. I got to look at the time. Somebody's got a meeting in this library at 2 o'clock, and it'd be kind of fun, but I don't want to. I could walk around the library with this thing and kind of show off what it looks like. This is a great camera for walking around. It's got a little bit of stabilization to it. But this is a crochet channel now. This is no longer a travel channel. This is a crochet channel. 12:30 in Dallas? Okay. That's maybe an hour ahead of Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Most likely an hour ahead. Central Time, Pacific Time. Maybe it's 12:30 here. I don't know how to check without getting out of this app. I got another. Actually, let me show that. Where is it? Oh, yes. I'll get over here. Okay. Whoops. Tap the screen. Oh yeah, to turn it. See, this is embroidery. See, I wanted to show off my talents. I got embroidery talents. I got crochet talents, and I got sewing, the Speedy Stitcher sewing talents. Okay, I got 11:34. I actually found this phone outside. Somebody just left it, and he didn't have a SIM card in it. He didn't have any cell phone service, so it's not the best phone, but it's mine now. I'm not sure what resale value on that would be. It's a burner. Yeah, that's exactly it. Some guy just left a burner phone laying around near the skate park. He didn't, in his pictures, he looked like an older guy, like he didn't look like he was a skater. He took some selfies, but they're all erased now. They were kind of weird selfies. He took like a 20-second video of his pant leg. Just a lot of weird stuff. Used to be a drug dealer. Oh yeah, the phone used to be maybe used to be connected to some illegal activity, but I reset it immediately. I mean, there was no password to get on. That's the thing. He didn't have a password. It's the same what I got. If I lost it, it'd be the same situation with this phone. He just had this. You just unlock it. So I got in immediately and then just erased everything, or reset it to factory. It's not too often you get that. If he had a password, there's no way I would have had access. How many people use passwords? So I tend not to, because I don't like dealing with it. Yeah, my car's in the courthouse parking lot, and it seems okay. So I have nothing to bring up with my car. I don't know what to think of it. Still just monitoring it. I mean, as long as I run it every day the way it looks, the battery seems like it might stay strong enough down to maybe 20 degrees, because it's starting up pretty good at 40 degrees. So if I just run it every day, move it every day a little bit, then I guess maybe it can survive. Every so often it'll rev up to near 3,000 on startup, and then come back down to 1,000 eventually within a matter of like 5 to 10 seconds. Revving up to almost like 2,500, that's alarming. I hover around 2,000 on the highways, but on startup, it's a throttle issue on startup, but it doesn't do it all the time. I don't understand. You think it's an elevation issue? I don't know what a mill is, but that's alarming. But it doesn't really seem like a big problem. Everything else seems to be in good working order. Just waiting on the court dates and hanging out, sleeping in the car. It was hot for a while, but now that it's cooling down, it's easier to hang out in the car and just wait. Come to the library every day. Yeah, there's a Napa not far. I don't know how to ask them that question, because it just seems too small of a deal right now. Yeah, you can go to any, usually, okay, the past answers for when the revving is an issue is that there's a air hose that's broken, so there's an air leak somewhere. That's the most likely cause. And that was the answer I got from like 3 different auto shops 3 years ago when I was in Meridian, Idaho, with a car issue. It was just revving to 3,000 on the highway, anywhere, and it was scary. Yeah, the check engine light's been on ever since I bought it 7-8 years ago. But that high rev wasn't because of an air leak. It was because the alternator was dying. It was a lack of electricity, so the car was making up for it by trying to rev up the engine and generate more electricity. It was not an air leak. But the auto shops, Napa, O'Reilly's, they stick with this. Man, this isn't down enough. They stick with the same answer, that it's an air leak. And that's their expertise. That's as far as they're trained. Smaller problems require somebody, who could actually get more hands-on and look at it, I guess. So that's the last major. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, and then I had the brake fluid leak, which I still check. I check maybe once a week now. I have not replaced the disc in the I haven't really talked about it in a while. It's the disc that rotates in the engine. I haven't done that replacement. I have a spare. I spent $160 on a spare disc, and it's just sitting in my car now. It's Macintosh. I've exposed quite a few cops, and that would make some interesting news if Craiger was getting replaced. Because like I said, there's an ad right now in Steamboat Pilot looking for a new Hayden cop. I don't think they just do that for the fun of it. They're trying to bring on a new cop for some reason. And I think it'd be very entertaining if it was them replacing Krager. Before my court trial, at least with McIntosh, they waited till after my charges were dropped, and then he quietly disappeared. I don't know what's going on with Krager. Man, I'd like to see those DAs replaced too. Man, they are just really wild with their accusations. All right, knots, loop. Okay. I think, yeah, it's looking pretty consistent. Yeah, it's like things get their mind frame. Well, okay, with Krager, well, now I was going to talk about this. I was going to talk about on my other channel about his PTSD, talk about cop impersonations, maybe just kind of look into it a little bit more with news articles and stuff. Cops with PTSD, obese cops with PTSD. It's kind of a disaster. They need more frequent evaluations. You don't just when somebody says they admit I have PTSD and they hire him as a cop. He definitely had PTSD before he was hired as a cop. He admitted to it in that 2013 article, and he was hired in Hayden after 2013. So but that stuff, that's cop channel stuff. I'm gonna complain, because that'll help me pass the time. I'll read news articles. I like to do those open investigations, those public investigations, which I think the courts might want to call harassment. But I mean, I like to pose the questions on the internet, and it helps me think through things when I'm talking about it. Just continuing on here. I got a long ways to go for this. And it's such slow progress, but it helps pass the time. You keep your fingers busy, and you're working towards something that's going to become very useful for the winter time. And also, let me just add that these are also good food warmers too, or you keep objects warm. I've been finding myself throwing like McDonald's I don't know, a little sandwich in here in my hat just to keep it warm. So they're good insulators too. Use this insulation for the summertime. Okay, well, this is just a simple crochet channel. I think maybe I'll just sit on this. I showed everything that I got here, so yeah, that's pretty good. There's not a lot of room, but yeah, you could throw a hamburger in here and then wear it on your head. That'll keep it warm. I'm gonna stop this then. This is just a short video on crocheting.